Question 21. Mersenne primes are primes that can be written in the form 2 to the power of n minus 1, where n is a whole number. For example, 3 can be written as 2 squared minus 1. So, with Mersenne primes, if we had, for example, 2 to the power of 1 minus 1, that's 2, take away 1, that gives you 1. Now, 1 isn't a prime, so it doesn't always generate a prime number. But if we had 2 to the power of 2 minus 1, that gives you 4 take away 1, which is 3, and we know that is prime. Or you could have 2 to the power of 3 minus 1, so that's 8 minus 1, which is 7, and that's prime. So it doesn't always generate a prime number, but sometimes it does. Now it says here that prove that 2 to the power of 9 isn't a prime. So if we work out 2 to the power of 9 minus 1 on the calculator, getting increasingly difficult to do this with the camera in the way as well. So 2 to the power of 9 minus 1, I get 511. And now that looks quite primey. That looks like a prime to me. So we're trying to prove that it's not a prime. So obviously a prime is a number that's only divisible by itself and 1. So if we're trying to prove that this isn't a prime, we need to see if there's a number that divides into this. So again, we've got our calculators. Clearly it's not going to divide by 2. See, 511 divided by 3, no. Divided by 4. So literally I'm just using a trial and error method. It's not going to be 5. And there we are. So we've got divided by 7 is 73. So we can say that it's not a prime since 511 is divisible by both 7 and 73. Part B. There are Mersenne primes when n equals 5 and n equals 7. Let's just work out what that would be. So 2 to the power of n, so it's 2 to the power of 5 minus 1. So 2 to the power of 5 is 32, so that gives you 31. Or 2 to the power of 7 minus 1, which is 128, minus 1, which is 127. So these are Mersenne primes. AMO says the ratio of the indices, 5 to 7, are in the ratio of 5 to 7, and therefore the ratio of the primes must be 5 to 7. So that must be in the ratio of 5 to 7. Show that AMO is wrong. So 331 to the ratio of 127. So if that is in the same ratio as 5 to 7, then I should be able to do 5 times a number to give me 31. Okay, so you could say that 31 is not divisible by 5, or you could say that 127 is not divisible by 7 either. Okay, so something along those lines. Also, on your calculator, if I'm just putting in a fraction on my calculator, so say I'm trying to put in the fraction 10 twelfths, okay? 10 twelfths on my calculator, on my particular calculator, Casio graphics calculator, it has this funny symbol here which means it's the over, so it's 10 over 12. If I press equals, it automatically simplifies it. Now if you think about a equivalent ratio to 5 to 7, it's like 10 to 14. If I wanted to put in 10 to 14 in my calculator, I could treat it a bit like a fraction, so 10 over 14, and that simplifies to 5 to 7. So again, we could actually just check this, 31 to 127, I could put it in a bit like that, and we can see that doesn't actually simplify. So, you could say that 31 to 127 does not simplify. So any of those explanations would be fine for the mark.